What's cooking, fam? Hope you all are doing good and staying safe. In today's video, we're gonna be making spaghetti bolognese or spaghetti bolognese. So this type of pasta originated in Bologna, Italy. It's basically tomato sauce with meat, and you can use it with any type of pasta. In this video, I'm gonna be doing it with spaghetti. So we're on a herbal hunt now. This is my small garden. We're gonna be taking some basil for this recipe. Other spices and herbs, we're gonna use them dried, but we're gonna use only fresh basil for this recipe. And actually, I'm happy with the weather today. It's nice. We've got our basil. I'm just gonna rinse it, wash it from the dust. I don't put chemicals. It's 100% organic. It's very clean, nice, and it's so fragrant, and I don't know, any good characteristics, they're just found there. So just rinse it from the dust and stuff, and that's it. Yeah, and I'm not gonna bother chopping it. We'll get into that. I'm not gonna chop it, okay? Alright, so now I'm gonna put this on high and add the water. Okay, so talking about our pot, our spaghetti pot, we don't want to be cheap on water or olive oil or salt, okay? So we're also trying to make a good flavor out of this water because we're gonna use it as a stock later on with in our pan, in our sauce. We'll get into that later, but for now, we don't want to go cheap on these stuff. We want to give it a good flavor, and we don't want the pasta sticking together because it's starchy. So we don't want it to stick to each other. So remember, we need this as a stock later on for flavor and for the starch to thicken up our sauce that we got from the pasta, okay? So keep that in mind and you'll see as we go. Okay, so for this recipe, I'm gonna use 1/4 of an onion. I already have this half. So, you know what? I'll cut it first the way I want it. I will dice it. Alright, so I will put this piece of onion remaining in cling film just to prevent some oxidation from happening. Yeah, and leave it for another use. So yeah, that's all the onion I need for this recipe. So I'm just gonna chop it a bit finer. Alright, so now I'll just put some olive oil in the pan. Oops. And turn it on high. And add the onion now. Okay, so that's how big I want them, into wedges, quarters, because I'm gonna put them in the food processor. Okay, so I'll put all the tomatoes here. Processor. Okay, so I would help with a spatula get everything back to the bottom, especially the tomato skin, because we all know it's the tough part of the tomato. And remember those basil leaves? We just take the thick stems and just put them all there. Alright, so that's it. That's the texture we need. Okay? Tomato juice with basil. It's just right. Gave them a golden color, which is so nice and gives lots of flavor. I don't want it to be chunky. I want it to crisp up and melt in a way. So we're gonna go ahead and add the juice. Perfect. Now to allow my sauce to reduce a bit, I'll take it back to the small burner on high heat, actually on medium heat, and I'll just let it sit there and reduce a bit. And meanwhile, I'll start preparing the meat. So usually in some sauces, I would do the meat first and then add the tomato sauce. In this one, I would like my tomato sauce to reduce a bit. So if I'm gonna cook the meat and then let it reduce, those chunks or this ground meat become tough. We don't want it to be tough. So I'm gonna cook it by itself, and then once this sauce reduced it, and then we will mix them all together. Alright. So it's the meat preparation right now. Olive oil. And put our ground beef in the pan. Okay. Let's break it. Okay. Make sure you tap the meat to separate it. So I'll go on and start adding my spices. So first of all, this is the salt. I use Himalayan salt. Garlic powder. So actually, for garlic powder, there's something I want to tell you guys. So sometimes, or in Italian recipes, 100% pure Italian recipes, you would see that they're using garlic cloves in the oil, in the sauce in the beginning, and then they would take it out. So there's nothing orthodox for that. This is what's fun and what's nice about cooking. It's art. So like you have to follow the recipe sometimes to get whatever you want, but you can think outside the box and do whatever you like. So if I put some garlic chunks in the recipe, it would be so tough and harsh on the flavor, so I don't want that. If I fry some garlic cloves in the oil in the beginning, then that's not what I want, because it's not gonna give me enough flavor for my spaghetti. Or if I put the garlic powder, it's just in between. So yeah, that's how I like it personally. Reduce the heat under the pan. So now I'll go ahead and add the black pepper. Proceed with my spices. Dried rosemaries. Okay. And some dried oregano. And some dried parsley. And some stuff, if you keep on adding, you're ruining the taste, you're not getting the right texture. But in sauces, and specifically Italian sauces, no matter how many spices and herbs you would add, you will just keep on making it better. Okay, and now I'll add a bit of Worcestershire sauce just for the flavors. And for the people that don't know what's Worcestershire sauce, it's usually fermented onions and garlics and herbs and lots of spices and salts. So it gives it, so it would just boost the flavor and make it so aromatic and nice. So I would like to use it as a flavor enhancer. I will also add a tablespoon and a half of a tomato concentrate, tomato paste. So this would actually also enhance the taste and the texture. So usually in some stuff you would add stock to it, and now here I would use some pasta stock, but it's not ready yet and it's not the right time to put it. So I will go ahead and use some white wine. You can use white wine or red wine, whatever you want. This is the open bottle that I have. So I'm gonna go ahead and use white wine. So here with white wine, I'm actually diluting the concentration, first of all. Second, I'm adding some sour taste, a bit of bitter taste, and sweet taste. So it's better than using water. I would use some wine and enhance the flavor. Put the spaghetti to start the cooking process. Grab a tongue for this one, and as it was boiling, it would start cooking and the pasta will be easier to twist. So yeah, just give it a twist now and leave it to cook. So I'll go ahead and try to see if it's cooked. Okay, so there's still a small crunch. We don't want that. We want it al dente, but not crunchy. Okay. Okay, so al dente means your tooth, that you're gonna be able to bite on it. Okay, it's not gonna crunch, but you're gonna be able to bite it. Okay, you want to stir the pasta occasionally, preventing it from staying together and sticking to the bottom. And it's so delicate, so stay next to it. Make sure that you got the right texture you want, whether it's really cooked, halfway cooked, like al dente, cooked but still firm. So I reached now the right texture that I want. Firm but tender, so it's al dente. I'll go ahead and add it here to the sauce. And as I said earlier, I'm gonna use some of the spaghetti stock to add juiciness, flavor, and nice texture for the spaghetti. olive oil. Great. Some Parmesan cheese. And in the end, garnish with some basil. And here you go. That's it. Simple but complex. Hey guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. Hope you guys learned something, enjoyed it, and I can't wait to dive into this plate. Please, if you like this video, if you enjoyed it, like and subscribe to this channel, and let me know in the comments if you tried it and if you liked it.